Well, I think also, too, with the new TV deal that the NBA has negotiated for the WNBA that infuses more cash into the league. You know, it's all been talk about losing money, but they're turning the page. And I want to touch on this real quick, too, with regards to the players of the WNBA. A lot of talk has been the jealousy part of the current veteran. Not that there's always a sense of protection. We've had it. I had to go through it, you know, as a rookie. We see that in football, baseball, basketball, whatever it is, a young player that comes in, young players that come in, because Candace Parker had to deal with it too, her rookie year. That conversation in itself, and you've been around it, how much does that play into it? And I don't like to use the word jealousy, but it is part of the narrative with regards to Caitlin and also Angel Reese and the rookies that come in, play into maybe some of the negative conversation with the WNBA?
So my issue again is the double standard, right? As you just mentioned, as a player, Jimmy, you had to go through it. You probably had to go through it when you first got to Ohio State. You had to go through it again when you got in the NBA, right? It's part of the rite of passage. Whenever there is somebody new on the block, and especially if they're coming with a lot of accolades, a lot of hype, people want to know, is it real or is it Memorex? Like, is this, are you what they say you are?
Exactly.
At every level of sport that happens. And it was just kind of irritating for me to see that narrative be twisted into, oh, y'all women, because it's so easy to attach those two tropes to women, pettiness and jealousy, right? And so it's just like, oh, that's funny, because I went back and looked at what LeBron James's Cleveland teammates were saying about him when he was drafted, right? You've seen this clip, probably, right?
Carlos Boozer.
Carlos Boozer, Darius Miles. You had Darius Miles saying, I don't see any high school player being able to take us to another level. This is, paraphrasing.
Right.
And his exact words were, I hope he could get on our bandwagon. He said that about LeBron James.
Yep.
Did anybody call Darius Miles petty or jealous?
Nope.
Nope.
Well, they might have, but not to this extent.
They might have.
Yeah.
But not to this extent.
No.
It didn't overtake the narrative, right? It didn't become the storyline or whatever. It was plenty of players that thought that the dude was on the cover of Sports Illustrated at 16. When he got to the league, people want to know, is he really the generational talent that people say that he is? And obviously that proved that he exceeded expectations, to be honest, but that's the same scope. But I want, as I've said to a few people privately, I just want some of the men to talk about the WNBA and what's happening there the same way y'all talk about the guys. Like, right? Like you don't resort Anthony Edwards when they asked him if Jamal Murray was his role model and he said, quote, hell no. Y'all don't call that petty or jealous, right? That's what he said.
Right.
What that man said, okay? But y'all don't call that petty. Y'all don't call that jealous. But when you see vets in the league saying like she gonna have to earn it, yes, this is what happens. And listen, I know people will highlight the very obvious cheap shot from Kennedy Carter. Like nobody is saying that was right or that was a basketball play. It clearly wasn't. However, if you watch the whole game, which I did, those two talking trash up and down the court. They jawing, they getting physical with one another. And again, that wasn't the way she should have handled that. But if you saw the context of the game, you're kind of not surprised that happened, especially with that player in particular, who is known to have a short fuse, right? Yeah. And so, but they brought none of that context to the discussion. Everything was, this just proves they're jealous. Nah, it just proves that she was battling with somebody who's a fierce competitor who took things too far, and this was the result. It happens 1,000 times in the NBA every damn year, and we don't have this entire broad-based discussion about people picking on a player. And so I just need the commentary around the WNBA and what we're seeing to just grow up a little bit. Because Angel Reese almost got her head taken off by Alyssa Thomas. And I ain't seen nobody talking about twice. Yep. And you know why? Alyssa Thomas, everybody knows, like she finished, I believe, second in MVP vote last year. She a real one. It's a reason why she's on this Olympic team. Okay. And so it's funny.
Facts.
Yeah, she brought that life. And it's funny because the constant complaint you hear from NBA fans all the time is it's too soft. The player's too friendly, blah, 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 blah. And what do you know? You have some of these things y'all said y'all missed happening in the NBA. And now look where we are.
It's true. Sports are better when people hate each other.
It is.
And there's real rivalries. This is what we need.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.